Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. And since today is Friday the 13th, I'm going to talk about the Friday the 13th series. Because I am not a hardcore fan, but I am a fan. And I mean, how can I not? I feel a little obligated to for YouTube. And I might mention a couple other things. But, the Friday the 13th series. I am, like I said, I'm not a hardcore fan, but I'm definitely somewhat of a fan of Jason. And otherwise, the movies, the series have like cool, badass kills, at least for its time in the '80s. And it's really awesome that they release the DVDs with certain special features, containing more gore and talking about making the movie. And because back in the '80s, the MPAA was more strict, so they had a lot of the death scenes were cut or not shown the way they originally were filmed, which is kind of tragic. And even today, the MPAA is strict about things, but they're a little more open to things, to some showing some content. But okay, so the first movie, one that came out in 1980, when I was little, I didn't like it because I'm only 18. I wasn't born in the 80s. I was just born in '93. So by that time, there had already been several of the movies, and growing up, I had already known about Michael and Freddy, and then Jason, and I hadn't really known. Like, I was kind of catching up on those movies, like in the sequels, not starting with the first. It was new for me to see the first movies. It was like, oh, so this is how it all started. And for Jason, I was always kind of peeved that it was his mom doing the killing. But that was when I was little, though. But then I eventually grew to like it. Otherwise, I'd always I mostly went the sequels, like back to back, and now I own most of them. I just don't have number 2 or 5 or number 9 and 10, but I do have just about all the others, I believe. But so the first one, it's classic, it's cool. Kevin Bacon's in there. I fucking love Kevin Bacon. He's an awesome actor, and he's got like the best death scene. And I'm not necessarily spoiling anything because it's a pretty famous scene. And the beheading is pretty cool. It's just kind of creative. And number 2, that one's, it's alright. I'm not a huge fan of number 2. I don't hate it either, but I guess that is the first one, Jason, so you gotta have some appreciation for it if you are a fan of horror or if you like Jason and the movies about him. The ending is my favorite part. Actually, no, that one does have, they all have cool deaths, but the ones I really like are the head to the face and the ending when he pops through the window. Number 3, which is one of my favorites of the series. I mean, it's cheesy, it's kind of corny, but I mean that one came out in 3D, and actually for deluxe edition, you can watch it in 3D. They have 3D glasses and everything, which I admit is kind of a headache. Watching any movie in 3D at home, like the old-fashioned kind of way, it's kind of a headache, but it can often be worth it. So the thing that always scares me is the scene where the chick's in the water and Jason shoots that thing in her. That in 3D, that's fucking scary. I always just kind of jump back whenever that happens in 3D. But the third one, I mean, that's where Jason first gets his mask too, and it's my favorite. I just think it's cool. I like the style that it went with. Number 4, that one has Corey Haim, Corey Feldman. Sorry. Corey Feldman, and Crispin Glover, and 1 or 2 other people that I'm aware of. That one was kind of edgy, and that one's alright. It's okay. 5th one, that's one of the ones I don't like. It's just, I don't know. That one, all the characters are really weird to me. I wasn't feeling it. But yeah, and of course in the end, the twist for that one is it's not even really Jason killing people. Someone dressed as Jason doing all the killing. I thought that was kind of pathetic. So the 5th one I don't like, but I might own it I might own it someday, just because it's part of this series. And number 6, oh yeah, Jason Lives. That one's really kick-ass too. I like that one. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, of course Jason's back. How he comes back is really cool. It's all gross. He's got maggots on him and stuff. And he's just back in action. And number 7, that one just went another awesome direction because they put a character in there with telekinesis. So it's like, Jason's got a good match this time for a survivor of the movie or survivors. And I wish the deaths in that one, I mean all of them, I wish the deaths were really exposed, especially in the 7th installment. And Jason Takes Manhattan, the eighth film, that one has a cool theme song. It doesn't really make the most sense how, like, the whole New York thing, it's drastic basically. The settings are drastic, but it still kind of works. I mean, I don't know. I like it. I don't love it or anything. It's not one of my favorites in the series, like number 3, and one of the other ones I'm gonna mention. But yeah, it's cool for what it is, as far as like the action and the chasing and the kills. But all the settings and some things in the script are just like they don't make the most sense. But and then number 9, I think that's Jason Goes to Hell. I used to not like that one, but it kind of grew on me. It's still kind of weird and senseless, but it's kind of cool though too. The ending is it's really tight because you see Freddy as like out of nowhere, and I'm a huge hardcore Freddy fan. I like Chucky, Michael, Jason, and whoever, but it's the Nightmare on Elm Street series that I'm hardcore for. So yeah, and so Jason Goes to Hell, that one's okay. Jason X, that's where it's set in space, and I guess Friday the 13th, they really do go in all these odd directions to make Jason happen. But for that one, I like the killings and the chase scenes, but otherwise it being set in space. I'm not like huge on sci-fi, so I found that kind of boring. But yeah, and of course, Freddy vs. Jason, another one of my favorites in the Friday the 13th installment. Sorry, the series. That one just it was like, this is Jason for my generation, or the second out of 3 so far. Friday the 13th for my generation, and that one, I like the cast, and it's got Freddy in there too. It's really, it couldn't be more awesome, basically. So yeah, and of course the remake, which I came out my freshman year. I got to see it the opening day on Friday the 13th, and I mean, I know I'm saying a lot of these movies are really cool, but this was like heaven for me, cinematic heaven. I got to see it. It was scary as hell. I like it. I like the cast in this one too. With the kills, like about 12 or 13 kills, and so yeah. And I'm still waiting for the sequel for this one. They need to get on it and make the sequel already for the remake Friday the 13th. So I want to have more of the new Jason, man. So, but yeah. So that's me reviewing the whole Friday the 13th series. What I think of each movie, or just about each movie. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Friday the 13th. It's kind of a bad luck day, but yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm just gonna watch some of the Friday the 13th movies. And yeah, you guys have an awesome night.